Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'll be talking more about ingrown hair and why certain people come up with ingrown hair. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's Nursekelly here. I create contents around nurses, skincare, aesthetics and lifestyle. Ingrown hair can be called bumps. It can also be called pseudofolliculitis bulbae. I know you've heard me mention that a couple of times. So with ingrown hair, it's an inflammation of the hair follicle and the surrounding skin. It's not necessarily infected, but it's an inflammation. You tend to have ingrown hair in places where the hair is thick or coarse. You can have hair on the bears or on the chin. You can also have ingrown hair on the arms and the pubic regions. Ingrown hair affects men and women, but is mostly seen in men and also affects all races, but more prominent in skin of color because of our hair texture. There are, however, types of ingrown hair. The first type of ingrown hair is called follicular penetration. And this type of ingrown hair is seen mostly in shaving. So because we are trying to shave and then you shave your hair on a dry skin, it just leaves a blunt cut. And that blunt cut, once the hair starts to grow out, the sharp edge starts to point on a surrounding skin just very close to the hair follicle. And once it starts to point at that surrounding skin, it causes some form of irritation around that area, and an inflammatory response takes place. That's where you will notice the itching that most people complain about, the redness, and skin having that bumpy look. So that's what you see with extra follicular penetration. In skin of color, right, these inflammatory response have more severe side effects because once the inflammation has calmed down, it tends to leave hyperpigmentation, which is why you see most people that have this ingrown hair or pseudofolliculitis bulbae, once it calms down, the area where they have PFP or ingrown hair, you see some type of pigmentation. It was around the bikini line area. It was on the beard. You see that there are tiny spots all along the jawline area. So that's what comes up due to the inflammatory response of the skin. Because of the melanin that we have, we tend to produce more pigmentation after the ingrown hair has dried. Another type of ingrown hair is the follicular penetration. This type is seen in your waxing, in your plucking, in your tweezing. And when you do these types of hair removal method, the hair is not properly uprooted from its root. So some hair is still stuck in the hair follicle. Once the hair starts to actually grow out, instead of the hair to grow out completely, hair comes out of the hair follicle to the surrounding tissue. With this type of hair removal method, and this type of ingrown hair is more severe because you can actually develop folliculitis as it starts to point from the hair follicle into the surrounding tissues. Inflammatory response, just like the first type of ingrown hair, takes place. But with these ones, you can actually have pus. As inflammatory response is taking place, the ingrown hair might look pustule-like, have whitish substance on top of it. Some people, when you look at their ingrown hair, is infected. So definitely with this type of ingrown hair method, the transfollicular penetration, you might need to see a dermatologist to actually help the infection, because it's an infection. Once it comes out from the hair follicle to surrounding tissues, it actually leads to folliculitis. So definitely once it has dried out, it will still leave the same thing that
a few moments later,
still leave the same hyperpigmentation on the skin. There are predisposing factors to ingrown hair. So you have one predisposing factor, or one major factor, is your hair removal method. Now, depending on type of hair removal method, like I mentioned earlier, can cause certain types of ingrown hair, whether it's your waxing, your shaving, your plucking, your tweezing. The best way is to pluck or tweeze against the direction of hair, which also brings me to my second predisposing factor, which is the hair texture. Most skin of color individuals, our hair follicle is shaped in a coily way. So when we remove our hair, we tend to this ingrown hair. Studies have, however, shown that genetics too can also contribute, because we have keratin in our hair follicle. They contribute to why we can sometimes develop ingrown hair. But there have not been many studies surrounding that, but over time I have seen paperwork on why genetics can actually contribute to having ingrown hair. So how does an ingrown hair actually start? An ingrown hair starts first with a rash. It starts to itch. You feel some form of itching around that area a few days after you have had your hair removal method, whether it's shaving, plucking, tweezing, and then you start to notice that the bumps, in certain people it looks red, some people it looks purple, some people it looks dark, starts to raise on the skin. And then from there, some other people, they tend to develop pus if it has become infected, or you notice that is a bit raised. One of the complications of that is sometimes with having ingrown hair, it takes days or weeks before the ingrown hair calms down, and definitely, like I said, it leaves hyperpigmentation. Some others, their ingrown hair develop to keloids. If you're keloid prone, there are huge chances that your ingrown hair can actually form into a keloid. Some people, however, mistake ingrown hair for acne. Some clients will come in and tell you, oh, I have acne on my bikini line. It's not acne, an ingrown hair. Because of the way it looks, sometimes people can mistake it for acne, especially when it's in that beginning part or the inflamed stages. What are the ways you can actually treat or prevent this ingrown hair? Like I talked in most of my videos, laser. As much as it's expensive, but it's an effective way to actually reduce pseudofolliculitis bulbae, or ingrown hair as it's popularly called. Lasers, they are light therapies that go down to the hair follicle to significantly reduce the hair growth. Laser works best when the hair is at its growing stage. So definitely, once you start laser at its growing stage, it significantly reduces the hair growth, the texture of the hair as well, which also is responsible for why the hair is growing in what is also resolved. However, because of the expenses of you doing laser, depending on which country you are in, laser therapy might be expensive. Not everybody can afford to do laser for their ingrown hair. Laser is actually safe for black skin, because certain types of laser is suited for black skin, which is the ND actensis for laser. Some other people are actually recommending home laser. I don't really recommend that, because as much as it's not bad, but it may not effectively also take out your hair like the in-clinic treatments of laser. So if you can afford the normal laser, please feel free to do that, because it's more effective. If you can't, other methods that I'm going to mention in this video might as well be helpful for you. The second treatment plan would be to actually leave the hair, because if you don't remove the hair will not actually grow inwards. So you can decide to leave your hair out. That's why you actually see that some men have a lot of beards. It's not because they actually want to leave those beards, but because that's an effective way to stop the ingrown hair from growing out. But not everybody can afford to leave their hair to grow out. Certain people like us, with females, you can't leave your armpits with hair. You can't also leave your pubic hair, right? So definitely there are other methods that can also help. Another method that can help to remove the hair would be to use depilatory cream. However, some people react badly to these creams, so I may not recommend it for everyone. If you've tried it and it was great for you, please comment in the comment section. Most skin of color individuals react badly to it. It can cause some form of irritation, it can cause burning, it can cause itching. So not everybody might benefit from this depilatory cream. Another method actually is to actually do shaving properly. Shave the hair according to the direction of your hair growth. Shave on damp skin. So make sure you soak your skin and you try to remove your hair with the direction of the hair growth. If you shave when your skin is dry, what happens is that it gives that sharp edge. However, if you shave when your skin is soaked and is damp, it doesn't give the sharp edge. There are also products that you can use to treat ingrown hair as they come up. You have products like benzoyl peroxide, it's an anti-inflammatory cream. You also have clindamycin, you have topical tretinols, AHA, you also have steroid creams. However, steroid creams are prescriptions and it's just used for a period of time to maybe control irritation or sensitivity going on around the hair follicle. Okay, so with that, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, you have further questions for me, please leave them in the comment section. Feel free, I'm going to respond when available. If you want to know more about me and what I do, you can follow me on social media platforms showing right on your screens. You can join the community as well if you like the kind of content that I create. Please click on the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on for when I post videos, and then you can also binge watch some of my videos on this channel. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching my video. Bye guys.